Hi there, Power Ranger fans. We're back with another GoldKingRanger podcast with me, admin GoldKingRanger.
Me, DinoChargeBlueRanger.
Gold SamuraiGoldRanger.
SentaiBlackRanger.
Awesome. We've got some great admins with us today. And in this podcast, we'll be talking about Power Ranger toys and how they changed over the years. So you could say the history of Power Ranger toys. So, Power Ranger toys. One of the greatest things about Power Ranger merchandise when you buy them in the store, I mean, when you're a kid or an adult, it's always fun when you walk into a store, oh my god, new Power Ranger toys. And especially as in United Kingdom, we recently just got the first lot of Power Rangers Dino Supercharged toys, and fans are pretty excited. But of course, Power Ranger toys have changed over the years.
Yeah, a lot of the times we have figurines that get repackaged, either for people in Japan or for other countries and all, or primarily in England or in America, we would have our own figurines specially designed just for us.
True.
I think also what's also interesting, one of the things is where if we go back to 1993, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, action figures, first the wave started as 8-inch figures, and then you had like the Mighty Morphin Megazord and Dragzord and Titanus, all reboxed Japanese toys from Zyuranger.
Yeah. And the thing is, what's interesting about that is if any of you've seen Super Megaforce, you'd know that there was I've never seen that shop. You know the little keys. There was the Titanium Ranger key, which was really interesting to note for those of you who don't know. Titanium Ranger was specifically for Power Rangers. He was never in the Japanese equivalent, aka Go-Go 5.
DinoChargeBlueRanger, any thoughts?
They've changed a lot, the figures, from back in 1993 till now. I remember when I was a kid, I used to have the entire set of all 6 of the Ninjetti Rangers in their little ninja outfits and everything.
And the ninja coins on their chest. And it's an interesting fact that a lot of Power Ranger figures that we got, they all had their dinosaur symbols. And that was to do with, because they wanted to try and, because whereas the Super Sentai footage, they didn't have the coins, but for production reasons, for like comics and books and things. In fact, there was when I was at London Film Comic Con, a fan asked about the question about the toys with the power coins and stuff on the chest and why they didn't have them on the suits, and that's because obviously of the Sentai footage. But I quite like the uniqueness of having the coin on the chest for the toys. I think it makes it a little unique from the TV series.
Yeah, but I still have those figures, shockingly enough, of 6 of them, including the Green Ranger, and they were quite unique, and they're quite good.
I've started collecting SH Fig Arts, I think that's what it's called, which is like a Japanese toy company, but they do some really good Sentai figures if you're into that, and they'll do all sorts of other stuff.
I've got all of the Mighty Morphin ones, so red, blue, black, yellow, pink, green, white. There's like Armoured Red and also Armoured Black, which was like a Comic-Con exclusive sort of one, which was pretty cool.
I got a good question for you guys, actually.
Yeah.
What do you think of the fact that a lot of times, you know, when they release figurines or props and stuff from Power Rangers, if it's a prop that was used in Sentai and had like the Sentai name in it, haven't you noticed that a lot of times they actually remember to remove the name and change it? Like, for example, with, what's that sword that they used to use in Mighty Morphin? It used to say Zyuranger in it, which is the original name.
The Blade Blaster.
Now it says Power Rangers.
And then I think also in Japan, I think it was white. I was black at the time.
That's right. Yeah. That was the set where you got the Power Morpher, which was pretty weird because the stickers on the Power Morpher, I don't know if you guys remember, it had Mighty Morphin and then Power Rangers. It didn't say Power Rangers. But thank you Repro Labels for making the labels for that 1983 all the Legacy Morphin to make it show accurate.
Yeah.
You are a saviour.
Also, in some models of the Power Morphin, it had Zyuranger as well. In some models that was released here, I saw them.
Well, they did that with the game too, didn't they? One of the games, they kept one of the Japanese names in it.
Yeah. Another interesting thing was Thunderbolts. Loads and loads of Power Ranger toys had lightning bolts. They had different stickers. Yeah. I mean, another thing, Shogun Megazord. White Shogun Zord became pink.
Yeah, that really annoyed me.
I think the reason they did that was because of Kimberly and Catherine being the Pink Ranger, and obviously with when the Falcon Zord combines with the Shogun Zord, it makes sense because Tommy's the White Ranger and all that.
Oh.
So let's talk a bit more Power Ranger toys going into the future. So let's talk about from when it was Samurai, Power Ranger Samurai.
Oh, yeah.
Now the interesting thing about Power Ranger Samurai toys and onwards was it was our own like figure molds and Megazord molds. When we got introduced to Zord Builder. Well, actually, technically, the first thing that started it was in America with Mighty Morphin 2010, when you had 4-inch action figures, which were pretty cute. I quite liked them. But obviously then, after a while, when it got to Samurai and then Megaforce, it was like, can it go back to 5 inches, please? Because it's interesting because action figures started at 8, then they went to 5, and then for years they were at 5.5 or 5 inches. And then all of a sudden, as soon as we got to like Samurai, it was like, whoop, shrink down to 4 inches. And it's like, wow.
I think there was no consistency with Bandai America. I think at the time, the company got, I don't know, something to do with recession and economy and all that stuff. They're trying to save money on molds. So,
actually,
I don't know.
I got a really good question, actually. What do you think of the possibility of, in a few months or so, we're going to get announcements of the figurines released for the new Mighty Morphin movie when it comes out?
More than possibly, yes.
I'm thinking they might use the action hero sort of mold. They might. Because, I mean, if Bandai's doing it, then it's probably that. But I'm hoping, I mean, I don't know, they might use the new Legacy figure build, but I doubt it. They might just stick to doing that. Obviously, I have high hopes for the new Power Ranger toys. I mean, for the movie toys, we're no doubt going to get figures, Megazord, and then Morpher,
a game,
maybe vehicles.
Some big, like, McDonald's advertisements, like Happy Meal.
If we get McDonald's toys in the UK for these new Power Rangers movie, I would be so happy. But it's more likely to be in America, unfortunately. But,
yeah, probably.
There you go. So, Zord Builder, we are going to obviously do a podcast about Zord Builder. But briefly, I just want to say, I love Zord Builder. I love how you can just make all these different combinations with Mighty Morphin 2010 Zord, Legacy Zords, Samurai, Super Samurai, Megaforce, Super Megaforce, DinoCharge, and Dino Supercharge. Oh my goodness, there's like literally 8 series of Power Rangers. And obviously, as we will go on to Power Ranger, maybe the movie toys will be Zord Builder as well, and maybe Ninja Steel. Oh yes, Ninja Steel is the next series of Power
Ninja
Rangers.
Steel, that looks good.
Yeah, it is. It's all ninjas, all shurikens and swords and stuff.
They really love their ninjas, don't they?
That's right. SentaiBlackRanger. What's the original? Where does Power Rangers Ninja Steel come from? What's the original thing called?
Shuriken Sentai Ninja.
That's right. Awesome. I love it. I think my favourite is GoldRanger. He's my favourite, and I like red and yellow too.
I have the Morphin, the sword with them.
It'd be interesting to know what would they call the Morpher, but obviously we'll save that for a future podcast because we will be talking about Power Rangers Ninja Steel and what we think will be coming into the series.
I have to quickly say that I'm really excited for Ninja Steel.
Me too.
I heard they already had the logo for it too.
I'm definitely going to cosplay.
We don't have the cash yet.
I want to.
I'm definitely going to cosplay as either red or gold. I love gold because of he's got a burger for a Morpher and I love his weapon, his guitar. That's also a sword and a blaster, and it's perfect because I'm a singer and I do music. It's the perfect weapon for me.
Appeals to the inner music fan in me. They should make like a gothic Power Rangers. That would be a really interesting idea.
So another thing I definitely would hope to see a bit more of and a bit more improvement is 6 Ranger toys. Because throughout history we've had different 6 Ranger toys. I mean, we had Dragon Zord and Tiger Zord and Falcon Zord, like on the Legacy line, for example, which was pretty cool. But then you've got the Gold Zeonizer from GoldRanger Zeo, and you had the Digimorpher from Silver Ranger in Space, the Magna Morpher from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, Titanium Morpher, and the Titanium Laser for the Titanium Ranger, which was pretty cool, and his action figure and stuff. It's brilliant. I love it. And I've noticed that since we got into Samurai, we'd never got the Samurai Morpher in this country, which is Antonio's Morpher, like Samurai, I think.
You sure about that? Because I saw Antonio's Morphin in some shops where I was.
Oh, okay.
Really?
I don't know.
Guys, actually, I want to ask you a good question about the figurines. How are you? Any of you those victims who ended up buying the bootlegged figurines? Because I ended up doing that, unfortunately. I got like the Operation Overdrive one.
I ended up buying. I once bought a bootleg. I once bought a bootleg Black Space Ranger, and it came with like a clear green Astro Blaster bottom and also the top, and it was cool. I called him the Shadow Ranger for some reason, and after a little short play with him, his leg broke off.
Do you want to guess what it was called? My one, the Operation Overdrive one I had. It was called Super Rangers.
Oh,
it doesn't sound like a rip-off.
Yeah. I just think it sounds like bootleg.
Okay, so to finish, before we wrap this up, I want each of you to say what's your most favourite Power Ranger toy that we've had.
Well, for me, I think my favorite that I have right now is the Power Ranger Legacy figures that I have. And I currently only got pink and white, red, yellow, and blue.
Sweet. Okay, SentaiBlackRanger. What about you?
I'd say as of right now, Kyuja toy line, because it's got like sounds with Judenchis. It's got activate different sounds. Because that's kind of a gimmick that gets me. I mean, I like the mechas, each type of mechas that make sounds. That's a deal breaker for me. So I would say the Kyuja toy line. I think I would say with them. No, I'm not going to say a specific one, but I would say the Kyuja toy mechas are my favorite.
I love the Cube Changer from Zyuohger. That's funny. That's one of my favorites.
Shoot me for saying this, but unfortunately, I've kind of hated this figure when I first had it, but then now I love it and I wish I didn't throw it away. It was my Sabar sword. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I thought
well then, save up enough money. Save 130, 120 quid. You can get the legacy one.
It was a brilliant prop, and I was into Power Rangers at the time. I was really younger, and then they gave it to me, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this. Take it back, and then it's just like, I'm such an idiot.
Unfortunately, it happens when you're a kid, unless you're really big into Power Rangers as a kid.
I was. Time Force.
Oh, my favourite Power Ranger toy. Oh, it's so hard because I've got so many. I have to say, I have to say three. I'm sorry, I have to say three. I love the Legacy Dragon Zord, because I love making the Dragon Zord in fighting mode. The remote control Q-Rex from Power Rangers Time Force.
Right.
And my third thing is I love the Legacy Morpher.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, the Legacy toy line is amazing, and I think it's going to keep getting better. And,
really good.
Okay, so please join us next week, hopefully, where we will be discussing about another Power Ranger topic. Maybe we'll talk about legacy toys or anything. What you guys out there can do is maybe you can comment below your favourite Power Rangers or Super Sentai toy. Or if you've got an idea for a podcast, you know the drill, comment below. Okay. So, well, that's it for this podcast. So remember to always, as always, like, comment, subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, email us. The amazing GoldKingRanger team are at your disposal at any time. So it's goodbye from me, GoldKingRanger.
DinoChargeBlueRanger.
Gold Samurai.
SentaiBlackRanger.
Okay, so as we always say, may the power protect you, and we'll see you all in the next podcast or our next video. Bye-bye for now, Rangers.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.